Hey everyone, it's Jonathan from Vaboo here. Been a few weeks since our last video, had a bit of time off, now back. Everybody seems crazy busy. We're preparing for the EA Masters event on October the 8th, so I hope I'll see many of you there. Right now it's time to introduce our Heroes of Agency Part 3, where we speak to a fantastic agent who has overcome many challenges, learnt from her time in the retail and hospitality space to grow a fantastic agency. Something we talk about a lot of Vaboo is the learnings that are available from the retail and hospitality sectors for all agents. So, I hope you enjoy the show. Good morning, Natilda. Thank you for joining us today on our Vaboo Heroes of Agency series. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm really well. Nice day, really sunny, so I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm going. Looking forward to spending a bit of time in the sun this afternoon. So, just wanted to catch up with yourself. Obviously, you've been using the Vaboo service for about a year now. Continually get fantastically positive feedback from all of your customers about your service through the platform, etc. So, really wanted to kind of just get a bit of an understanding of King's accommodation and your journey. So, it'd be great if you could start off by just telling us how you came about setting up Kings. I think it was about 15 years now, is it?
Yeah, 2007, 2000, yeah, 2006, I started to deal with properties, but that was rent to rent.
Okay.
And accommodation was officially established in 2007.
Okay. So what were you doing? What was your career before that?
Okay, cool. So as you can hear from my accent, I'm not British. So I arrived to this country in 2005, and I've been working in a hotel. And I started from the very bottom. So I was a cleaning attendant. I was cleaning rooms and lifting the heavy mattresses. I didn't do that for long, to be honest, because it's not the job that I was looking to do. But obviously, as a foreign person coming over, didn't really spoke much English at that time. Even I had it at my university back home, but I wasn't feeling comfortable to talk. So yeah, I was cleaning, and I was also working at the St. Pancras canteen when they were building the station. So I had 4 jobs at that time.
Oh, wow.
But very quickly I progressed. So I was working for a 5-star hotel in Victoria, opposite Buckingham Palace. So from cleaning department, I've been moved to restaurant. And I think this is where it started, because I was taking every single course they were giving. And within a space of a year and few months, I've been promoted from a cleaner to assistant food and beverage manager. So that was really, really good. And I, I really enjoyed working for the 5-star hotel, because I think I've learned a lot about 5-star service. I learned that the customer, it's somebody that we need to meet their needs. So I'm not ashamed to talk about that. I've been cleaning at some point, because I know where it took me, the whole journey. And working for a 5-star hotel, I think that was one of the best backgrounds for me to start the business where I am at the moment. I've never thought that I will be a estate agent, that I will deal with properties, with lettings, with sales. It just happened, to be honest, because when I left the hotel, I worked for about 2 weeks for a telecom company. I was selling telecommunication services. And at that time, I got a job offer from one of the state agents. And I was like, okay, I've agreed to work for him. But I worked for him maybe a month. I think it was 4 or 6 weeks, something like this. And I was like, I can do this myself. And I started from home. I had like a small small desk under the staircase in my home, which was rented at that time, and I was sharing the house because I was subletting the room, so I could get some help with the rent, and and that is how it started really. So after three months, I moved into a small office which was in like a business center, and I stayed in that business center for about 4 years, and then I rented the place on the main road after I bought it, and this is how it started. So it was a good journey, hard at some point, really hard. You know me, that at some point I completely mentally broke because of amount of stress, because I always wanted to deliver that 5-star service, but I think I got lost a little bit with the staff management and how to manage a company, because the company grew really quickly, because the service that I was providing to my customers was really in demand, and I was never losing clients, so I was just building the portfolio of my clients. And then it grew to a point that I think I just couldn't manage, so I had to restructure everything. So that was a bit of hard moment for me. But when I've restructured, when I went back to a good track with management, staff management, mindset, then the journey continued to be really, really good.
And it's been a successful one, right? So, you've been going since 2007, and today you're managing a significant number of properties, 1,000+ tenants. So, the challenges you've overcome and the experiences, I guess they've all been worth it in the end.
Absolutely. And any challenges I had, I think everybody had exactly the same challenges, either in business or in daily life. The business that we are in, properties, are a people business. So it involves people, it involves different characters. So I think it shaped me as a person as well. Definitely. No, it was a fantastic journey, and I do feel I am successful. Everybody's got their own level of being successful. And I remember there was a time where I was just chasing, thinking that I am not successful at all. So I think, it's how you think what the success is. But with the amount of properties I've got, with the staff that I've got, clients that I have, I think everything's been, in a really, really good place.
So how did you go from what initially rent to having a fully fledged sales and lettings?
So the rent to rent I was doing at the time when I was working in a hotel. So at that moment, I've already started, because first I was renting a room. Then I rented a house because I was going to live in it. But very quickly I realized I don't really like the area, but I was tied up to the contract. So I was like, let me sublet the rooms. And this is how it started. After I've got few friends who became my friends. They were renting a room in one of my houses, because I had 5 or 6 at that time, and they were working for King's College Hospital, and they were looking for accommodation, but they had no time to look for it. So I was like, let me help you. And I called few landlords, and I was like, I've got 2 tenants who are looking for a 2-bedroom flat. Would you be willing to let to them? I can bring them over. And they were like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I realized that it's actually, it's a good setup to do. So that was the moment where I shift from rent to rent to start thinking of opening the agency, because I was like, I can help my friends from King's College Hospital. And originally King's Accommodation, because this is how we are called, was established, and then we've been searching for properties strictly and only for King's Accommodation staff. After years, we became just a normal state agents and letting agents.
So you went from working at a desk under your stairs to having a nice looking high street presence in Brixton. What personally, I think there's a lot that can be learnt from the hospitality and the retail sectors in terms of, you know, the property space and agents in particular.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would agree with?
Absolutely, and this is one of the reasons why I was really excited when we spoke first time about your service, because again, this is something that it gives value. It shows that we appreciate our clients. And when you go to a 5-star hotel, what every person wants, they want to be looked after. They want that something extra, that you give them something to show that you care. And this is who I am really, and this is something that I also learned in that hotel. So that's why I am with you, and I'm talking to you right now as well. Because yeah, this is one of the biggest thing I learned from hospitality and 5-star hotel.
So over the last few years, in particular, there's been a lot of change within the private rental sector in terms of, you know, tenant fees and various other regulation. How have you kind of handled that challenge, and, you know, what are your kind of hopes and dreams for the future?
So I think everybody needs to adapt to changes, and this is what I have done, what we have done as a company. So the moment when all the legislation kicked in, and after the tenancy fee ban, we were ready, because we knew nothing is like, no change happens straight away when it comes to lettings. Everything was announced, so that it will happen in a year time, 2 years time, or a few months time. So it's about being prepared, and this is what we've been doing. So as soon as we heard about the changes, and they keep coming, so those changes keep coming, we are getting more and more legislation, so it's about being informed. So this is what we've been doing. We have been preparing ourselves before it actually happened. So we were ready, and I think this is one of the biggest bonuses for us, that we actually made that change, and we were ready before it actually came in life.
Sure. So how has the business developed over the past sort of couple of years in light of the changes? And
we are doing actually a lot better now, with where we've got a lot more work to do, because when it comes to legislations, it's really, really tough. We do, like, it's not even double, it trebles the amount of work we had to do before. So obviously the staff needs to be qualified, and people, and quite a lot of education. And I think this is one of the biggest factors why we are successful, because we talk about the changes. I am passionate about those changes. I speak at property events, and I go and educate landlords. I feel it's my duty to make sure that they do know about those changes, because there is so many landlords who've got completely no idea what's going on. And rental, especially rental sector, it involves tenants and landlord, and those two, they need to be in good connection, good communication, but landlord need to make sure that they look after the tenant, so the tenant will look after the landlord and the property. This is how it works. You look after me, I will look after you. This is life. And the same, it comes to lettings, to be honest. So we talk to landlords so they understand about the amount of work. We had to unfortunately make some increase in our fees, because of amount of legislation, and then compliance that we have to, and then we have to follow code of practice as well. So talking and educating and explaining to clients about their rights and responsibilities. This is one of the biggest factors that made our company successful.
Okay. So has that sort of openness and communication helped you attract new landlords and tenants to the business?
Absolutely. And sometimes forcing them to do what is required to do. So sometimes you need to be you need to pull the pants up and just not allowed to go the way some of the landlords would want to go because they are not aware of what's going on. Tenant needs to be safe in the property, and landlord need to make sure that they basically follow their responsibilities. Yes.
So what are your hopes for the next couple of years for the business?
So we don't have a massive expectation to grow, be huge. I always wanted to have an independent agency which gives an income that I can live on, and then not have too much stress, because before I was thinking to open a few other branches. I decided not to. Brixton is a place that I love, and the community in Brixton, it's really nice. So everybody's quite close. So this is a place where I want to stay. Keep on looking after the portfolio I've got, after my clients. Few more clients would be, of course, really nice. But those ones that I've got, they are long-term landlords. This is a thing. Most of my landlords, they've decided now to go and travel. So we look after their properties and tenants, and they are not even around. So so this is what we do, and I love it.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you've been on an interesting journey, overcome a number of challenges, and created something really, really positive. What one bit of advice would you give for other either estate agents, letting agents, or just small business owners in general?
Interesting. So one of the most important, probably, if there is a change, make a change, adapt to a change, because this is one. Many times I had in the past, we've been always doing this way. This was always done the way it's being done right now. No, we need to adapt to changes. So I think that would be one of the biggest advice I would say. And if I may, there would be a second one, which is everyone needs to look after themselves as well, because if our well-being is in a good, on a good level, the service we are providing and people that we talk to and attract will be very much in the same line of our beliefs and our values.
Absolutely, I could totally concur with that. And so, yeah, to summarise, don't be afraid of change, adapt to it quickly, and don't be afraid of doing things differently to others.
Yeah, and I just wanted, while we are talking, I just wanted to say thank you to you, because one of our tenants won the full month's rent. Yep. So the service that you are providing, I absolutely love it, because it does give the value to tenants. And when I remember when I called the tenant, because I actually wanted to call myself, so I called myself, and he's like, I was like, you won 1 month's rent. And he was like, why? I was like, because you entered. He's like, he thought that it was a kind of fraud. And I was like, it's Matilda from King's Accommodation, but he didn't know me because I don't deal with tenants. My staff deal with tenants. I was like, I am serious. So would you, when would you like to come and collect the check? And there was like a silence in the phone. And he's like, you are serious, aren't you? And I'm like, yes. So thank you very much.
That's fun. Yeah.
Smile on people's face and our face as well.
All part of the service. One final question for you. As you know, this is called the Vaboo Heroes of Agency series. And we decided to do it at this time because there's a lot of heroes right now in the times that we find ourselves in, but we started to do this because of the great things that many of our clients are doing for their customers. So Matilda, my final question for you is who is your favorite superhero?
From a state agency or like a superhero, a normal superhero?
Whatever comes to mind.
To be honest with you, it would be probably just my son. I don't have a superhero that is my favorite, but my son would be the one. that
That's
I will.
that's a good enough answer for me. Well, thank you for your time today, Matilda, and I look forward to working with you over the coming years.
Fantastic, and keep on providing the good service as you do. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.